Yo, what up, what up, what up? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Mike Manifestations, welcome to the channel, everybody.
Chilling in the party with hoodie rats around. Could it be they love the way we talk, the way we move, the way we walk, or the way we grew? Whatever it is, they love it. California thuggin', they can't get enough of it. Liquor in my cup, so I say fuck it. What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
Man, I'm ready for the pound. Just having a little bit of.
Have you ever looked at your bank account 3 days after payday and realized the money you worked so hard for is already gone? We got the topic for you today. Bills hit, rent hits, groceries hit, gas hits, and suddenly you're waiting for another 27 days for the next check, like it's a lifeline. Well, for some get paid monthly, some get paid every 2 weeks. But anyways, with that, guys, millions of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, even people with full-time jobs, hardworking people who are doing everything right, but still barely surviving. Before we jump in, guys, I just want to say this. Thank you for helping the Mike Manifestations podcast hit over 100 subscribers, man. Damn, I'm already thinking big. But the growth is real, baby. And with your help, we can hit 1,000 subscribers sooner than you think, and if not more. So if you're listening right now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps the show more than you know. Yeah. So those of you that haven't tuned in, my name is Ben. Today we're talking about why people working 40 hours a week or more are still struggling to stay afloat, and what this says about the world we're living in. That's crazy, huh? Well, let's jump into it, baby. We're gonna bring it all to light right now. So what it really means to live paycheck to paycheck. Some of you know, some of you don't know. But it's crazy. But let's break it down. If that's you, let me know in the comments. So living paycheck to paycheck doesn't just mean you're broke. Right? For a lot of us, it means you don't have savings. That one emergency can ruin everything. You're constantly choosing between bills. You're fighting stress every day, and you can't breathe financially. Yeah. It means your money is spoken for before it even hits your account. Right? How many of you guys know that? It's like, man, I get my check and I already know what it's going towards. This month's going towards bills, towards car payment, towards, rent, whatever it is. But here's the real truth nobody wants to talk about. Most Americans aren't living like this because they're irresponsible. They're living like this because the cost of living is exploded, man. And wages didn't, Rent is up, gas is up, groceries are way up, utilities are up, child care is insane. Good thing I don't got no kids anymore. They're all grown anyways. And wages have barely moved in 20 years. We were just talking about that the other day, what the minimum wage was in California. I think they said it was 16 or 20. I don't even remember. But anyways, so people are working full time, even overtime, and still can't afford basic life. In the richest country in the world, that's wild. California, supposedly, a lot of revenue and everything else. So, and coming from the richest country, United States. But so with that, guys, let's talk about why this is happening. Not the excuses, not the politics, the real reasons hardworking people can't get ahead. So the real reason people can't get ahead in life, we're going to break it down for you right now. Some of you may have known this. Some of you may not. Some of you are probably struggling with it. So the cost of living rose faster than wages. Housing is the biggest. 2 decades ago, one income could cover rent. Now, 2 incomes might barely cover it. everything increased except paychecks. You know, like I said before, you know, one house, you know, one paycheck, one person working in the household was able to cover a lot of the bills and everything else. Now it's like two people doing it. You're struggling still, bro. You know, and debt is eating people alive now. How many of you guys got credit cards, student loans, medical bills, car payments, buy now, pay later? It all adds up. Yep, that buy now, pay later, man, that gets you. You know, because you're like, oh, well, shoot, I don't got the money right now, but if I make little payments, you know, $20 a month or $20 every 2 weeks, then I'll be able to get that TV or those electronics, that makeup, that Sephora, that bag, you know, you know. Hey, and then you keep going through it like that every week. You're, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that. So that $20 every 2 weeks turns into $40, turns into $60, turns into $80. So you're paying $80 every 2 weeks. So it's like, you know, all that stuff adds up, man. But yeah, they get you with that buy now, pay later stuff. People are not just paying for what they need, they're paying interest on what they already bought years ago. You know? Well, especially that car payment, you know, you're paying interest on that car payment every month. And it's crazy, bro. Emergencies destroy families as well. One flat tire, one ER visit, one missed shift, one broken appliance, and boom, you're behind. And then you're feed to death. You know, these banks are getting crazy, bro, with these late fees, these overdraft fees, these payment processing fees, convenience fees. You know, the system punishes you for being poor. You know, it's crazy. I know some of you are living the life, the luxury and stuff like that. Some of you don't see the stuff that's going on. But hey, for those that are struggling, you know, so jobs don't offer stability anymore as well. You know, people have to juggle 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. Companies are cutting hours. Insurance is garbage. Raises are pennies on the dollar. And you're expected to be grateful? Heck no. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Nah, fortunately enough, my insurance is pretty good. So I can't complain about my insurance and my company that I work for. They've been great. They've been, you know, just got a promotion at work as well. But hey, it takes a lot of work. You gotta work your butt off to get promoted and everything else too. So it just doesn't come given to you. Some people work hard. Some people, you know, are comfortable with where they're at. But I'm not one of those. Anyways, so with that as well, guys, you got mental and emotional burnout. You know, living paycheck to paycheck isn't just financial. It's emotional. You start living in survival mode. You know, you start getting anxiety, you know, depression, exhaustion, you know, fear of that next bill, you know, coming due. Are you going to have enough to pay it? You know, fear of that next emergency. You know, you don't know if it's going to hit or if you got to go to the doctors or if you got to be, you know, whatever the case may be. You know, it can be anything. You know, just a little backstory on mine. You know, like I said, emergencies, they'll hit you, bro, at any time, any place. I went to the dentist, I want to say maybe a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I ended up, for whatever reason, I ended up fainting and, you know, had to get, ambulance called. So yeah, they picked me up, checked me out. Fortunately it was nothing major. But yeah, just those little expenses, you know, will set you back, you know, especially if you don't have, you know, like I said, good insurance or you don't have the means of paying that, you know, even though it's that unexpected emergency that's going to happen. You know, it affects relationships as well. You know, sleep, confidence, hope, everything. You know, it messes up all your routine, your daily routines and stuff like that too. As far as you just like you said, you got that anxiety, that depression, you're like worried, your anxiety, it adds up anyways. But yeah, so before that, guys, before we continue, I want to share something that's generally helped me get through episodes like this, because diving into heavy topics takes a toll mentally and emotionally, right? Especially during these times. But yeah, when I'm up late, writing, researching, or editing, I need energy and focus, without feeling, burnt out or jittery. So that's why I rock with Dubby energy drink. Well, it's not really energy drink. It's just gives you energy. Dubby gives clean, smooth, focused energy. No crash, no jitters, and none of that artificial stuff other drinks pack in. Their focus blend keeps my mind sharp, grounded when I need it to stay locked in to bring these episodes to you guys at Mike Manifestations Podcast. So if you want to try it, go to www.dubby.gg. And because you're part of the Mike Manifestations family, you get 10% off. So yeah, add that stuff to your cart. Use that promo code Mike Manifestations Podcast 24. That's Mike Manifestations Podcast 24. All one word. For 10% off your entire order. Again, www.dubby.gg. Promo code Mike Manifestations Podcast. It's right there, baby. Oh, right there. Anyways, now let's jump back into it, baby. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So with that, guys, like I said, the emotional reality behind paycheck to paycheck life is crazy. So talking about the emotional side, the part people don't want to admit, right? Because we all get emotional. I don't know about you guys, but nah. So living paycheck to paycheck does something to you. It drains your spirit. It makes you feel stuck, ashamed, behind in life. You're there, you work hard, but feel like you're not moving. You're stuck in neutral still, bro. You see others getting ahead, buying homes, going on vacations, and wonder, what am I doing wrong? But it ain't nothing you're doing wrong, But here's the truth. You're not doing anything wrong. The game changed, the rules changed, the cost changed, but wages didn't. It's crazy, bro. Like I said, I'm just grateful where I'm at as far as, in my career and so forth. Room for advancement and everything else. But yeah, I mean, wages didn't change much, man. But, so it's not you failing, it's the system failing, the people who make this country run. And the mental toll, it shows up in your body, tight chest, overthinking, sleepless nights, shorter breath, constant anxiety. It's crazy. How many of you guys get any of these symptoms here that I just mentioned? Let me know in the comments. It's not bad budgeting. It's survival mode. We're in the jungle. We got to survive, baby. We got to survive to strive to get ahead. Yep, it's crazy, man. But it happens. So with that, guys, if you guys are living paycheck to paycheck, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not alone. You're not lazy. You're not failing. You're surviving. And that's all we can do at this time, bro. And surviving in a world that gets more expensive every year is a miracle in itself. I see you. I hear you. And I appreciate you guys. But before we close out, thank you guys again for helping the Mike Manifestations Podcast pass 100 subscribers. That means a lot. So make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on the social media platforms. Mike Manifestations Podcast. Yeah, so with that, so that way we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark and build a community big enough to make some real noise. You know, when I created this podcast, I didn't envision, you know, having 100 subscribers, much less 1,000, much less 1,000,000. But with your guys' help, we can go ahead and get there. So hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let me know in the comments, like I said, if you're one of those that are struggling, that are living paycheck to paycheck. I know sometimes I'm one of those as well, you know. But yeah, man, those all that anxiety, that depression, that stress, it all gets to you. So with that said, my name is Ben. This is Mike Manifestations Podcast. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, stay human, and keep pushing, baby. Keep pushing. Yep. Yeah. Catch you guys on the next one, baby, when we out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, anything that's on your mind, anything that's going on that you feel that needs to be out there. Let me know. We'll talk about it. Catch you guys on the next one, baby. We out. Mike Manifestations Podcast.
You know how we get down, chilling in the party with hoodie rats around. Could it be they love the way we talk, the way we move, the way we walk, or the way we grew? Whatever it is, they love it.